everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this super cute fabric pinwheel bow. And what I do with mine is I actually use hemming tape just to make the back look super neat and stop the edges from fraying. So there's this version. This is the version we're going to make in the video today. I did make one purely for my own personal wear. I did this one. It's a lovely Jack and Sally Nightmare Before Christmas print, but again, this is my personal wear. I don't sell these, like I said, because it is uncopyrighted and this material was marked as personal use only. But like I said, I am obsessed with Nightmare Before Christmas, and I had this one, and I also had this version. So cute. These ones are slightly longer. I'm doing a slightly shorter version in the video, but like I said, they are my, like I said, I'm 36 years old at the moment, but like I said, I will be wearing those for Halloween this year, because like I said, just a wee bit obsessed. But like I said, that's the whole definition of personal wear rather than this. But what I'll do in the description below, I will put the measurements, because like I said, there's this one which is going to be 20 inches via 8 inches, and these bigger versions are 24 inches by 10 inches. So like I said, you can completely play around with your sizes and work out what's best for you. This one is 8 inches long and about 6.5 inches wide, so like I said, still quite a big bow. But like I said, you can play around with these fabrics. This is just a really really easy, simple way using, like I said, I use my hair straighteners to do this. So like I've got these on in the corner out of the way. We'll move this, and like I said, just to save a bit of time, I've already half pinned half of what we're doing, just so you're not watching me for like 40 minutes, because no one wants that. Just finish pinning that side. Make sure the main key about this is that you shouldn't be able to see your hand tape beneath the fabric. Just pin properly. Okay, so you can't see the tape underneath there. It's in there, as you can see, but we can't see it with the overlap. And what I'm going to do, as you can see, I've done this layer, then turn this over. We're going to turn this over, and then this one in. And again, that is purely just to keep our edges nice and tidy, to stop any of this bit that would be shown on the outside, the fraying bit. And the other thing, if you really want to, is I have some of this raised stop glue. If you wanted to, you could also put a teeny touch around the edges, but I would literally take like a little fabric brush or something like that and just like lightly paint it, and then wait until that's set, and then you could do it that way instead. But like I said, this is just the easiest way I find. So this is extra strength hemming tape, or like heat bond tape, things like that. Comes under quite a few different names depending on where you're from. And all it is like I said, say if your trouser seam came down, it's just the tape that you would use to correct that. So do a length across here, turn this up so you can't see the tape. I repin my corner, and I'm just going to take a couple of pins, making sure I can't see any of that tape, and pop that across. Keep it nice and flat. Okay. And try and do, I do roughly an inch. You can do sort of half an inch, a centimetre, depending on how good you are with accuracy. The inch just makes it easier for me because it completely hides that tape, because that tape is roughly about an inch or so wide typically. So just a couple of pins in, like I said. Hide that. I'll just shift the material over so you can see. And then we take it, last bit, make sure it's along there, and again folding the edge so we can't see that tape. Takes me a tiny bit of time to do this, but I think it's worth it because, like I said, it just makes the bow just look a little bit more professional without an awful lot of extra work and without a sewing machine, because I have got one, but I think I need to go for lessons with it because I am terrible at getting my underlock stitches sorted, and it tends to pull and snag, and I get frustrated and start saying less polite words and throwing things at my wall in frustration, and no one wants to watch that. So, like I said, it's all nicely pinned. Once I'm happy with everything, got my hair straighteners, and I've got mine on my highest temperature, which is my 5, which I think is about 230. Open them up, take a pin out on one corner, just realised. So pin out in one corner, heat seal that side, and what I do is I just go between the pins to begin with, take the corner ones out when I've got that sealed, and then like that, and as I'm going I take them out, go between, remove, and I normally pin a couple of, if I'm doing them I tend to do a few at a time, and I'll have them pinned and everything ready to go, and then I'll do this process and then so on until I've got like 3 or 4 ready to be made up at once, and it just saves me time and makes the process go a little bit quicker than doing one individually. Individual piece at a time. So, turn it round again, across there, move the pin, and the other thing it will do is if you do have any fraying in the bow, because you've done this, when we fold everything in, it won't be seen to your customers. So like I said, even if it's there, it won't be visible. Once I've got everything in place, what I do then is I just go over any spots that look like they're not 100% done. We just go everything again and make sure it's all nicely sealed and bonded. You can use heat bond for this as well, just cut strips instead of the full sheet. Okay, just going to do this side one last time. On your last time through, I tend to take it really slow, just to make sure that, like I said, it's all completely, there's nothing pulling away that hasn't like had enough heat on it to get a nice seal. There we go. Turn my straighteners off now. And this is what you're left with. Nice like rectangle. I also like to, before I fold it in, is if there is any little threads, just take them off so they're not visible anywhere when you fold it. And then all you have to do, this one is now, let me tell you, it's gone down from 10 inches or 9 inches, yeah, 10 inches to 8. So we're going to fold in, which is roughly 2.5 inches, and again fold in basically those edges that we've just made these bits, you sort of fold them so that they sit on top of each other to make a tube. Like this, line your edges up. Like that. And the last thing I do is, again, I'm just going to take my straighteners and I'm going to just turn this into a tube. I'm not going to heat seal the centre of this. You can if you want to. It's entirely up to you. But like I said, just sort of use that to get it sort of one standard width all the way along. There we go. And then we are going to take it like so. And then you just want to turn it like this. And make your typical pinwheel shape with it. So you get this. There we go. And then I just check that I've got the right amount on each of these sides, because obviously we can't cut it like we normally would with ribbon. And that's a little much. So I'm going to move that up, so slide that up a little. Not too much. That's better. Inch. And an inch, and then I'm going to take 2 clips to hold this in place. Clip there, we clip the other corner, fold this corner to this one, like that, and then get yourself a little crease in, and same as normal. From where we've just creased at, you want to go from above and you want to do 6 on each side to get 3 creases each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're not great at sewing, you could do the folds and glue them in instead, but like I said, that'd be entirely up to you. Or you could try wrapping. Wrapping would work as well. And then just pull that together and wrap your thread around the centre. Once, twice, a couple of times until it's all nicely tight and you're sure it's not going to snap or break. Like I said, I use extra strength Gutermann thread. The link is in the description below, along with all measurements. There's also a link to my Facebook group, so if you ever get stuck with anything, you can pop across and ask me any questions. That's all, like I said, down in the description box. So there's that bit done. We can now take our clips off, and I have done exactly the same method, just done a little middle using the excess bit of fabric I had. I did an inch, and like I said, I folded it, did it in so it's down to a centimetre, well, just over a centimetre, and we're just going to attach a bobble to it. And then I'll show you one last trick just to make it a little bit neater, and there you go, that is a half pinwheel fabric bow. So let's glue this. Got a seamless bobble. I always attach it where the seam is. Glue this round, straight over, through the bobble, round, round, over the original, and then what I do is I fold this down a little bit, so I put some glue on the top there. me just saving my glue gun from falling on my desk. So I fold that down a little bit so you can't see the original hem, so there's no fraying there. And then just put some glue. Make sure it's not too far behind that you'll be able to see it at the front. And then the last thing that I do, once I've got my tails where I want them and how wide I want them, make sure that this is hidden and you can't see those tails behind. And I just take 2 last pieces of tape. So last pieces of tape, just make sure it's big enough to go across where you want it and you can't see that bit beneath. Pop that in, and I just turn my straighteners off camera. Line that up so, like I said, everything that's nice and clean and you can't see any of the bit beneath. And I just do same thing as we did on the original edges. Same thing the other side. Get your tails where you want them to sit and how wide you want them to sit. Make sure you can't see any of that behind. Pop that just in so you can't see that. There we go. And again, just take your straighteners and use that to bond those together. And that just makes the whole thing, front as you can see, and the back, it just looks nicer and cleaner than just, like I said, just folding it without actually hemming it. And it holds together better as well and just feels like cleaner and more professional looking. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I'll speak to you all soon and thank you for watching. Bye.